Hey everyone. Okay, so y'all have requested that I do a tutorial. Oh, this is One Pay.
Hello.
She's just chilling with us.
Here.
She's also a landscape architecture major, so we're actually in the studio right now. It's kind of messy. So y'all have requested that I do a tutorial on how to make little succulent arrangement terrarium. Here's the one I just made. Let's see if you can see it on camera. It's kind of blurry, isn't it? Well, there'll be pictures after. These are kind of experiments because the dish I have is really shallow, so it's not really terrarium. It's just going to be more like, you know, in a container. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I recommend, you know, using a larger bowl. I'll post pictures of that as well. Let's just go over what you'll need. So I have some larger red lava rocks. Those will go on the bottom. Those will provide drainage. Thank you. Arigato ne. This is called black gold. It's just activated charcoal. You can get this at a garden store. Yeah, this is great because it's going to filter out the water. I'll go into more detail about that. It's kind of like a Brita filter. This is what you'll need the most. Soil! It is the cactus, palm, and citrus soil. So basically this is fast draining. You know, you can, if you make your own soil, just make sure it's kind of like has a lot of perlite in it and drains quickly. So this works pretty well. If the soil says cactus, it's going to be good for succulents as well, because succulents and cactus both just need really well drained soil. And then of course you're going to need succulents, so I have a few here left over. So yeah, regardless, just pick up some succulents. They're usually pretty cheap. I think these 2-inch ones cost like $2, and I caught this one for like $5. Yeah, y'all could probably pick these up at the nursery. Or if you have something growing in your garden, you can actually just like pop a leaf off and you can start a new plant. Yeah, okay, so I guess we should just begin, right? So, oh, make sure you're wearing like an apron or some not nice clothes. This one has a kangaroo pouch, so it's kind of cool. Alright, let's begin. I'm gonna angle the camera down. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? That's good?
Yep.
Okay, yep. So, yeah, thanks. Let's just start by, also put down some paper so you don't mess up the desk. Or if you're working outside, don't worry. Basically with this rock, you know, its main function is to allow water to kind of fall off the soil. Basically succulents don't need a lot of water. You know, they usually are found in like the mountains or the desert, so they don't like too much water. So for this container I put about that much. You know, just enough to make a good solid layer. It's kind of coating the bottom. And then charcoal, just pour some in there. This is great. Ooh,
wait, why do
dusty.
you need charcoal?
Oh, the charcoal, right. So what this does is like, because this container doesn't have any drainage, you know, like most pots, if you see like a potted plant, it's gonna have a hole at the bottom so the water can fall out so it doesn't drown the plant. But these closed glass containers don't have that drainage, so we're kind of making a drainage layer. So if the water does collect at the bottom, if you do put too much water, you know, it's just standing there, and you know, stagnant water gets kind of gross and dirty. So the charcoal acts kind of like a Brita filter. You know, it cleans the water and takes out the impurities. So just go ahead and pour like a good layer in there. Let's see, what's next? Oh, soil. Careful, careful, careful. Can you give me? Here, watch out. Okay, so we had some water spillage over there. That's okay. So after you put the charcoal, you're gonna add some soil. You know, if you have a shovel or like a little hand spade, that's cool. I forgot mine at home, so I'm just gonna use my hands. Yeah, and remember the key point about the soil is you want the soil to be well drained. Yeah, so I think for me for this kind of container, I'm gonna put it right up to the top because it's already shallow. So I want to give as much soil room as I can. If you're using a big bowl, you know, you can probably fill it to the halfway mark. Again, I'll probably post illustrations or pictures of that. Maybe a little more. I'm leaving just a little bit of room at the top because I'm going to put a decorative pebbles on top. Let's see. That should be good. Okay. So, arigato. Okay. So, let's see, we're gonna take the succulents now, just kind of pop it out of its case. If you break the leaves off, it's fine. The leaves will actually start their own plants, so, you know, don't throw them away. Wow, this is really dry. Okay, So I just kind of want to break this soil off. Don't really need it. Yeah, the roots are pretty long. This is a bigger succulent, so I don't know how well it's going to do in this really shallow container, but we'll try. Just break off the ends of the roots. They're usually pretty hardy, so I'm hoping this will still grow, even though I've kind of put it through some abuse. So you know, just make a little dent in the soil where you're going to put it, a little crater, and then pop it in. Push the soil back around it. Wow, this is actually pretty big for this container, so I'm going to try to squeeze 2 into this one. This one's got a little flower stalk, so. Another key point before I forget about succulents is they're going to need a lot of direct sunlight. So if you have a window that's like south facing, that's great. Most succulents, you know, require that direct sunlight. If you are in like the desert climate though, or really hot, like, yeah, don't give it too much sun, but you know, that's only for the hotter climates. So, like I said, they usually like sun. And see, this one has leaves broken off already, but that's cool. It'll grow back. Yeah, so like this little guy will start its own plant. This one's got a long root too. Alright, I'm gonna try to do some surgery here. This is super experimental for me, actually. I feel bad about breaking the root. Yeah, I just hope it doesn't. We'll see. Normally I would use a deeper, much deeper container for it. You can just reuse the soil that came with it. Just kind of pack it in. Doesn't have to look pretty yet. That should be okay. And now the last step I forgot to mention is I bought a huge bag of these just decorative pebbles. I think these are the kind that usually use in bonsai, but they work here too. So this just works as soil covering. Really important new mistake I made in the summer when I first started making these is I covered them with sheet moss, because I really like that green texture. The sheet moss actually, if you cover the entire bit of soil with it, it's going to kill the succulents because it traps way too much moisture in the soil and doesn't let the air get in. So let's not do that. This is super cheap, so it's cool if you spill some. Just cover all the soil in this. And it's already looking good. Kind of press it in so it doesn't spill everywhere. That looks pretty good. Oh wow, I just dropped all those. The tighter corners. Alright, this one's really going to be an experiment, so we'll see how this turns out after a couple weeks. Yeah, so just to really hammer the important points in, little to no water, and sun, lots of sun. But I mean, succulents are pretty hardy. I made an arrangement for my friend last summer, and then I went to his house and I noticed it was in his bathroom, which has no windows, and the succulents will grow really tall. They call it getting leggy. So if they need sun, they'll try to look for it. So if you see your succulent starting to get less rosette and more like tall and leggy, that means it's not getting enough sun. So you might want to put it outside for a bit. See this one here, the flower stalk is already, I just bought it 2 days ago, but it's already starting to grow kind of leggy. So I think this one is gonna want a little more sun. Because there's not a lot of room for this dish, I'm not gonna put any other decorative toppings on it. So other people will sometimes put seashells or larger rocks. You can put a little bit of moss for accent if you're into that. That's cool. Sheet moss, or they have these like poofy dyed moss that you can probably find. What else is topping? Sometimes you'll put little marbles. You know, you can have fun with it. Just don't get too crazy, as long as there's like enough topping that'll allow the air and water to get through. So when should you water these guys? Let the soil dry in between waterings. Like, it should get pretty dry, and then, you know, if it's getting good sun, probably every week or so, maybe 7 to 10 days. It's probably a good time to water it. Oh, and then at the end, if you got little rocks in it like I did, you can carefully kind of dislodge them.
Using a mechanical pencil.
Well, I'm using a mechanical pencil because I don't have anything else right now, so that's cool. I mean, they're not going to kill the plant, but just for aesthetics. I don't know, maybe it looks kind of cool in there. Alright, I'll probably do this later. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Did I forget anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, make sure you wash your hands after. Alright.
Oh, before?
No, after.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, alright. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for
Good
watching.
luck. Bye.